me again. So this is like the promo CD for the Lilith Fair back in '98. Yeah, and here I had it upside down. See. So anyways, I got this promo CD during the summer of '98 at the Lilith Fair in San Diego over at the fairgrounds. So, anyways, it also had like that one song from Dido, Thank You, there, because that was another one that got popular around the end of the '90s of that sort. So, anyways, it was one of the concerts that I'd gone to, as far as that goes. So it's one of like the first ones where it was just where it's a bit more grown up act rather than like going to like a Sharon and Bram concert. But those were like my first concerts that I'd gone to. It was like Sharon and Bram over at I think it was like the Balboa Theater, or it was the Spreckles Theater, I can't even remember. And then also at the Wiltern Theater. And that whole story was with the first one, my brothers were forced to tag along at that point. And then they didn't really like it because they were kind of a bit too old for it, because one of them was already like 11 or 12, and the other one was already about 13, I guess, I suppose. And so I was like 8 at the time. Yeah. So then I complained to Mom about that, and so then Mama took me to the other one over in the Wiltern Theater in Los Angeles, and that was where she was showing me like the whole one of the old May Company or Sears department stores, and how they had like the old fashioned department stores where like each department's on a different floor of that sort. And somehow it also reminded me of Chicago. I think it was like when they still had the Marshall Fields, and then that other department store that they had over there at the Water Tower Plaza, or whatever that one was called. Because I've only been there twice, because I've been there like in '89 and been there like in '01, as far as that goes. And then we ate at that Johnny Rockets. Yeah. So that was like the other thing there. So, anyways, the other concerts that I've gone to, I think I've gone to a couple of them that were in the Segerstrom Center or around that area, because like my old best buddy Howard had taken me to those concerts, like these classical music concerts where they played all these different ones, like from Chopin and Haydn and some of the other ones. I don't really actually like recall because it's been that long, And then I gone to the Segerstrom Center back like in 4th grade, because we were going to see like some sort of a chorus group there, and I think that whole story goes was that one of my classmates, Melissa, that she managed to get out of special ed, and so she was transferring into a regular class and had to go to a different school. And at one point, we ran into her at the Segerstrom Center there. So, anyways, I'm trying to think here. I'm going it came to the other story there, you know. And then it was in 8th grade where I got into that one concert there where they had like another orchestra, and I forget what they call these sort of things, because it's one where they would have somebody narrate the story, and then the orchestra kind of plays along to make to set the scene for certain things, kind of like Peter and the Wolf. And I forgot the name of the story. It's something that had to do with like some sort of dragon or whatever it was, because it was something that Mr. Silverman, my 8th grade band teacher, was showing that kind of stuff. And that was kind of like the whole story about, you know, when I was doing my spring cleaning and I found that one shirt that I had that made me think of that one trip to Disneyland that year. So anyways, if I recall correctly, it was like not just like Peter and the Wolf, but there was like another one that I watched on TV, but I keep forgetting the name of it, because it's supposed to be like a Russian kind of fairy tale there, where it was a wizard who brought this doll to life, as far as I go. But I don't really remember the exact story there. But it'll probably come to me, you know. And then, as far as that goes, you know, 98 wasn't really the only time that I went to the Lilith Fair. I went to the Lilith Fair in 99, you know, over at what's now like the Coors Amphitheater, I think that's what it's called. You know, that's like near like San Lucido or wherever that one place is. You know, and if I remember correctly, with this one, like the 98 one in particular, the acts were Erykah Badu, and then it was what's her name? And then it was the Indigo Girls, Natalie Merchant, and then Sarah McLachlan. Yeah. And I think the concert was about like 4 hours, so it was like each of them had an hour or 45 minutes to do their whole entire set, and so they would do their signature song at the end, you know, like where Erykah Badu would do the song Tyrone. And, you know, as far as that goes. And then, the Indigo Girls would do like the Sunny Side of Life song, you know. But it was one of the things that I commented about in that concert, because there was this one woman that kept dancing to her seat the entire time, and then someone had like brought out a lighter and was like doing like a little flame kind of dance or whatever to do it, you know, when the Indigo Girls were around on the stage. And then the second Lilith Fair concert, it was the acts were Luscious Jackson was the opening act. Then was the Dixie Chicks, or the Chicks now, and then Sheryl Crow, and then Sarah McLachlan as the closing act. Yeah. But this time it was like my brother and two of my aunts were there, as far as that goes. And then one of the funnier memories was when we were leaving, my brother goes, "Yeehaw!" And then everybody starts mooing, like moo, 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 and then it stopped, and everyone going, "Oh!" And it made me think of this one commercial where I think it was either like it was a lineman that was that they were looking at one of the lines, and or it might have been that either worked for a phone company or it was a cable company. I can't even remember. And then he kind of got the cable, and it said that all these people were watching the games, and so he was like disconnecting it and then reconnecting. So they're going, "Ah, yay! Ah, yay!" And somehow it was making me think of the original Darkwing Duck. Yeah, on one of the episodes where like Negaduck had captured all of Darkwing Duck's friends, and he was gonna torture them, where he pulls the switch, and so it was like the same thing when Darkwing Duck and Negaduck were fighting over the switch, and so where it activates and deactivates, so they all like going ah 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 ah. So that's what it made me think of. So, anyways, the other concerts I gone to after that, it was over at I think it's called the Nokia Amphitheater over in Grand Prairie, Texas. I think, and then it was Seether, Three Doors Down, and then Arlie Peace were there because I wanted to see Arlie Peace because that's one of my favorite bands. And then, if I recall correctly, then the last other concert I'd gone to was over in over in the American Airlines, and it was the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. But as far as that goes, with the musicals, there was like the Las Posadas musical that was over in one of the theaters in the Signature Center, like the smaller one. And then Avenue Q over in the Signature Center. And then it was Wicked over in the Balboa Theater, or no, it was the Civic Theater. The Civic Theater. That's what it was. I'm thinking those two mixed around. It's the Civic Theater in San Diego. And then, whatchamacallit, the South Pacific that was over in the Signature Center. Yeah. And then the whole Mikado that was in that small theater that was near there. You know, and that was the one that Mom had said that Grandma had participated in the Mikado, if I remember correctly. And then the other story was, now that I'm beginning to think about musicals at that point, was, is that, in a way, I would do that periodically when I was a bit younger, where I would imagine people started breaking out in song, and someone said it was like it's their Broadway moment. You know what I mean? And if I recall correctly, that was one of the other things that I would say is like a mental music video. Is when I hear a song, I start visualizing in my mind's eye of what the music video would be like based on my interpretation of the songs and the instrumentation and the lyrics and all that. Yeah. And it's like for now, it's like I was like starting to visualize what it would be like if like my life as like a musical at this point. You know, so there would have been certain numbers of me by myself, and there being like a number with me and mom, or one of my brothers, or both of my brothers at that point. And then, depending on like some of the other things that they were going through, as far as like mom missing dad in a way, and there could be like some sort of thing where like mom's having like a duet with dad and spirit and all that, or with one of my brothers having to take a break from his girlfriend because she was dealing with a lot of things, emotionally and all that, because of the fact that her normal meter is broken and needs to like readjust to know what it's like to have a normal relationship and a healthy relationship. Yeah. And so there could be like um, numbers where he's by himself pining and all that, or like that kind of duets and all that. And then of course with me, it could be a duet or with my new friend, and or a number with him by himself, and expressing some of his inner desires and all this of, not sure what he wants to do with me, but feels something, I don't know, that sort of thing. So I guess that's kind of a bit more complicated there. So anyways, I hate having to kind of cut this here, but I've been like talking for about almost 17 minutes. So anyways, talk to you guys later.